You can't just request banter, Tanner. You have to be
This is your job. Of course I can request it.
My job. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we are here with former Mormon fashion blogger, Days of Chandler.
And current ex-Mormon fashion blogger, Chandler.
Same person.
So Chandler was pretty popular. When did you start your fashion blog?
I don't know what year it was, but it's been like 5 years. So
okay, so she crushed it on the Mormon fashion blogging scene. Like, weren't you featured by like ABC News or something?
Yeah. Today did like an interview. Deseret News,
interview.
like KSL. Yeah.
Wow, to think you've been on Zelf and also ABC News.
I know, it's crazy. They're basically the same.
So basically a huge deal, and she looks great, so we thought it would be a great idea to get her on the channel and have a little discussion about modesty, because you've obviously had to transition your content from doing modest fashion.
Pioneer dresses to slutty.
Exactly. Pasties. The word.
Pasties.
I know. Out with the cap. Do you have some?
Yeah. They're like really cheap though, so I don't know if they're gonna work.
Oh.
And I haven't found an outfit where I need them yet.
Well, I can think of the good like screen tag for this video.
Oh,
Pasties.
yeah, nice.
Just saying.
Okay, the first thing I'm going to ask you about, because I witnessed some of this happening after you left the church, is how did Mormons react when you started posting immodest stuff on your fashion blog?
Not good at all. Like, and I still get lots of messages, pretty much like, every week about people that are just like livid about it. Like, you were such an example to me and my daughters, and now you just show more than anyone needs to see, and things like that. Like, where's your garments? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Yeah.
We'll link Chandler's Instagram down below so you can see like what she's actually showing, because like it's really not slutty at all.
Nothing. It's like a Tide top or like some midriff. I don't know. I don't have cleavage, so it's not
still
like,
what I would consider like not conservative, but you know,
but yeah,
very
not
normal.
like, yeah, not showy.
Yeah.
But yeah, people get pretty upset about it.
Nothing
still.
better to do than patrol strangers'
Nope.
underwear on the internet.
No.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of questions like still like, how do you wear this with garments? Like the nice way of being like,
when they
there's
know,
no
they
way.
know.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's been fun. It's been really fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So tell us a little bit about how you felt, like what made you want to be a modest fashion blogger at the time, and like what made you like so inspired to be modest, I guess?
So I was going to school at BYU, Idaho at the time, which we all, I guess, kind of met.
Softness in our hearts.
Anyways, and I was there, and I had just been endowed, and I came home from my mission, and I was just kind of like, clothing is really boring and difficult when you have garments. Like, you go from wearing all this cute stuff, and all of a sudden you can't wear it anymore, you know?
Story of my life.
So I was just like, okay, well, I feel like this is a good platform, like, to start a blog and to show people how to dress cute and not be like totally frumpy, like,
which you did do a great job at.
I had a roommate from DC, and that's what he'd come back every day and go, everyone here is frumpy as hell. I'm like, Michael.
Was that your black roommate?
I mean, so he knew. I mean, yeah, so it was bad. So I was just like, I could use this to like connect with people and like inspire people to dress modest and like to enjoy it, so to speak.
Inspire them, she did.
Yes, maybe too much. So yeah, so that's kind of how I did it, and I really loved it. I mean, I thought it was fun, even though it's kind of frustrating going shopping sometimes and being like, I want to wear that. It was like, gotta wear what the Lord wants, you know, so.
When you were Mormon, did you ever have times where you would not be modest, and then like would you feel guilt about it?
Yes, yeah, like all the time. Like, there was a certain, which is funny because this involves you.
I know, I was gonna bring that up. I used to be such a judgy bitch.
It's okay, we all had our things, right?
Yeah, we're all sorry for things we said as Mormons.
Yeah, so you know, we can just we're through this. But yeah, like there were certain dresses I had where like they barely didn't make the garment cut, and it's not like I'm not gonna wear it.
And there's like those specific, I remember for the 3 weeks I wore garments, there's like those ones that they're like silky and they like ride up so much, it's like you can get away with it.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can like pull them up, kind of.
Yeah, so I mean there was times, and I even had like a first counselor at my young single adult ward. He like pulled me into his office one day and was like, hey, I've had 2 complaints of modesty for you. And I started crying because I felt so bad. Like, I thought I was trying, and I was like so mortified, and he was like, one was from a young man and one was from a young woman. Okay. And I was like, hey, girl, like,
Okay,
So-
Chandler, don't you guarantee that that man was like bitter that he would never be able to date Chandler, and the girl was just
my
like
God.
jealous that she would never look like Chandler? Like, I guarantee it. Why else would you go to a first?
I mean, I don't know, but so that was fun. So
What does that even come up? Like
I
in
know.
an interview, and they're like,
that's what I wonder.
Actually
too.
go to
it's like,
them.
hey, I just
Like-
want you to know,
Chandler over
Sister
here.
Chandler is just really, really provoking some thoughts here.
Exactly. And I mean, nothing I wore was that over the top. Like, if anything, it was like a little tight, but it's like I said, I have no cleavage, so it's not like I could do anything there. So I don't know. I don't know what was freaking people out, but I was doing it. So, and that was with me trying to be modest. So
God.
Maybe they were just worried about you freezing to death if you were showing too
They
much
were
skin,
concerned. They were
not
just
wearing
concerned.
enough
Yeah, they were
clothes.
just
It's
worried
so
about
cold
you.
in
I should have
Rexburg.
known.
They didn't want to deny you the blessing of being modest. They
Yeah.
wanted to call it to your attention.
Yep. Well,
So-
it worked. So
worked.
it totally worked.
So when you realized the church was a bunch of hoo-ha, did you just like immediately abandon all your modesty ideas? Like, what was that transition like? And how was it? Because I've read a lot of stories from people that grew up Mormon saying, like I've read all these things on ex-Mormon Reddit where girls would be like, I bought this tank top and short shorts and I put them on, but like I got too nervous and I couldn't wear them out.
Oh,
Like,
weird.
which doesn't seem like how you were. 'Cause
No,
I feel like you
no.
wore stuff before in high school and stuff.
No, yeah, that was probably like the first thing to go for me because
Me
like
too.
when I was leaving, I was just like, I did little things to like ease into leaving. So I was like, maybe if I don't wear my garments all the time, like something bad will happen. So I'll try that first. So I like stopped wearing garments first off because I always hated them.
I'm just like, please curse me. Show me any sign.
right. And nothing happened. In fact,
The
like,
sharks that eat your legs
Yeah.
but stop at your garments.
I
They
know,
just
the
keep
burn
going.
marks, yeah. But luckily, nothing happened, so I was like, all right, I'm good. So I just kept not wearing the garments. But like, I never felt uncomfortable once I stopped wearing them. Like, I felt like I just felt really good and confident and happy, and I didn't feel like uncomfortable all the time, because those things are the worst.
Turns out there wasn't any magic to it.
There's no magic, yeah. I mean, I did,
The magic
get a
was
few
in you all
scrapes,
along.
but it was all, yeah, exactly.
The real garments are the friends we make along the way.
It's so true.
The real friends are the garments we throw in the trash. It's a sign of defiance.
But no, I feel like you said, like I always wanted to wear immodest Mormon clothing. Like back in middle school, the style was like jean mini skirts with leggings underneath. Did like you guys remember that at all? And that was still immodest to my family at the time. They were like, you can't wear it. So I took a pair of like Bermuda shorts and like cut them into a skirt and like sewed it and like snuck it into school. And then my mom found it in my laundry one day and I got in a lot of trouble. But like I was always like wanting that. So I mean, it wasn't hard for me to transition into that. I used to like bring shorts and put them in my locker and then I would like change or wear them under like a longer skirt and then you get in your car and you just like take them off.
Chandler.
I know, that
Chandler.
I know. I had to repent a lot, but I think I'm good now.
Does it make you cringe now? Because you wrote some pretty like passionate things about modesty.
Yeah.
Like you would like my story
Oh
and
my
like
gosh, so
how you
much.
went from being like a slutty McSlut in high school,
like-
like wearing a shirt.
I know, it's like
There's like nothing
it's the
going
worst.
on.
It's the worst. I know, I actually just had a girl the other day like recognize me from that post when I was like, why I choose to stay or whatever, and she's like, that really moved me, and I was like, I am so sorry to tell you. Yeah, like I'm so sorry, I'm actually not LDS anymore, and she was really cool, but like it still gets brought up, which is awkward, but it is like embarrassing because it's like me being like, this is why you should stay, but really it was me like doubling down on insecurity.
We all wrote that post.
I know.
We all have a post.
When me and Tanner saw your post, we were both just like, oh, she is so out.
I know. And I think you wrote me a message and I was like, she thinks she knows me. So that is not true. And then like 2 months later, I was like, hey.
And now you're peddling Mormon porn.
And now I
showing your shoulders.
Look at these knees.
Yes. Cover them up, sorry.
I just remembered a song I wrote at BYU Idaho that I played on the banjo that was like all about the honor code and like, where are my knees, where are my
What?
ankles, like,
I mean,
oh, it was so
do
bad.
you have a video?
It's on the internet somewhere.
It's somewhere.
Dog problems.
We'll post the link.
Huey!
Dog
That's not
problem.
yours.
While
Ow.
Samantha is gone, can you give us your professional expertise on the fashion choices of the Mormon Tabernacle Choir? If you could. Okay, I guess Sam wants to be back
I mean,
for the good questions.
it's an understandable question not to want to miss.
Tanner!
What?
We should have different like outfits the moment they've had Chandler react to them.
Oh my gosh.
Like the Pepto-Bismol look that they did one session.
Oh my gosh.
That was one of my faves.
Am I still like okay forward enough?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so.
Do not cross this line.
Been there.
Lines keep us safe.
They sure do.
If you could direct the Mormon Tabernacle Choir's outfit choices.
Yeah, like
Okay.
biggest changes you would make.
Well,
Pasties.
obviously, I mean, they'd get a lot of attention for it. I don't understand why the dresses usually look like FLDS. Like, I mean, maybe I do understand, but like, you know what I mean? It's like, we don't have to do that anymore.
The only thing missing is like the hair.
Seriously, it's so heinous.
Especially because the Mormon Tabernacle Choir is pretty well known globally.
Yeah.
So like, would it be really like a smart decision for them to just look a bit more modern, you know?
Yeah, and it wouldn't be that hard. Like, get a nice black, like, slim fitting dress. Like, that's what our high school choir wore, and it looked amazing. Like, just a set of pearls or something. It's not that hard, but I don't know.
Okay, I have a fashion related
Banksy
question
is
just
getting
like while you're here.
dangerously close to the camera.
Banksy!
Oh, poor guy.
He's fine.
He
Okay,
is
listen,
fine.
I have a serious fashion question.
Okay.
So when I bought this shirt, I didn't think anything of it, and like several people have told me as I've worn it that like this is like a nipple thing, and to me this isn't, because it's like above the nipples. The nipples are here.
But it looks like it should be a
Do you think
nipple
this
thing.
looks like not like I'm trying to show off my boobs? I don't mean it to sound that extreme,
I
but
see what
like,
you're
do you think it's meant to be
Boob
like
attentive?
boob? Yeah, boob. Is it meant to be a boob focused shirt?
I mean, I don't think that's when I see those shirts, I think they're super cute. Like, I don't think it's like, look at my boobs. But I mean, if you wanted it to
But if
be,
you
it
want to
could
look at my
be,
boobs.
like, I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I'd
It's
say
an
it's
either or.
I'd say it's
That's
boobula.
kind of boobular.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's in the area, but it's not like.
And there's two of them rather than just one.
Every man thinks it's
That's
like,
true.
It's
That's
a
true.
boob thing.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that you were
Yeah,
like,
that's
that wouldn't
true.
necessarily, because that's how I felt. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's like in that general area, but
Yep.
it's, you know, it's not here.
Yeah, no.
And we even had a much bigger boobed girl try it on, and it wasn't over her nipples either.
I know, I usually feel like they're higher
It
up.
could just be
Yeah.
like poor placement. I don't know.
Maybe.
What I'm saying,
Maybe.
it's just, you know, it's all about directing the attention of the eyes in the same way that this shirt draws attention straight to my junk.
Nice
Because it
little
points
arrow.
to your junk.
Yeah.
Tana
Well
wore this
made.
shirt for you today. Cause
I really like this
fashion.
shirt. I really do like this shirt.
He's really coming to his own.
I'm impressed.
Okay, what else? Do you have any questions you want to ask Chandler?
I think that is maybe a good segue because in the church there's a sense of like conformity, right? Everyone is like trying or feels like they should be looking the same.
Yeah.
For me, I was the frumpiest of the frumpy because I thought it was a sin to try to look good.
Really?
Yeah.
Like when you were
dressed
super
like you
Mormon?
thought it
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
sin to
So like
look
I
good.
came home from my mission and I like intentionally purchased the ugliest looking like plaid button down shirts that I could wear because I thought that like trying to be expressive was drawing attention to myself.
No
in a
way.
bad way. Yeah.
Whoa.
Which is why now people are like, wow, you like dress so different. It's like, this is how I always wanted to dress and never allowed myself to dress.
You really have a lot of faith to be like, I'm just gonna dress like crap and hope that I still find a great wife.
Well, because I wanted a frumpy ass wife who
You
just
did.
was like,
You
But
did.
see, I've always seen like, I remember at BYU Idaho, you'd see like really good looking women with like very frumpy guys like
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the time.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not sure what
Old
that
navy
is.
shirts.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
like the Abercrombie or whatever,
Oh,
like the polos and all that. But like always, like super hot girls with like mediocre guys. I don't know. So you could have still found a hot wife.
Yeah. For the
It's not
record,
too late.
nothing wrong with plaid button downs if
Oh.
that's your thing, or polos if that's your thing.
Mm.
But for Chandler's like, wow.
Live your truth, but your truth sucks.
Yeah, you could have a better truth.
Yeah, you're entitled to your opinion, but you're wrong.
Truth
like.
is up to you.
What are your fashion predictions for 2018?
Mormon fashion predictions. Are we
Yeah.
gonna see a bigger focus on chevrons? Or
I don't think
Are we
Chevron
gonna go back
ever
to
goes
the
out
double
in the church.
polo? You remember that when that happened in the
What?
2000s?
With like the puka shells and stuff? Oh.
What? I
People
wasn't
wore
in the country
polos
then.
under
That's
their
right.
polos,
What?
and then they
Double.
popped the collar, and they had like a different collar underneath.
that never
Uh-huh.
happened in England.
Oh, you're so lucky.
You're really lucky.
We also had school uniforms, so
Mm.
That's kind of nice. Like sometimes school
Yeah.
uniforms actually are kind of nice.
yeah. And then you toe the line by like trying to wear your skirt shorter than you can, wearing your tie less than the 7 stripes it's supposed to have. Like you always try and rebel. Chandler, tell us about your journey out of Mormonism in sort of a brief-ish way, like not a John DeLynn length answer.
Okay, it's like, ooh, how do I narrow this down? Like, I mean,
What were
Wasn't
your,
true, I bounced.
Yeah.
like, what were your kind of big moments or like big things you found out that you were like, oh, I don't know, this is probably crap?
I don't know. It was really hard because like for all my life, like I never considered that it was not true or that someone would be lying to me, anything like that, like for what, like 22 years. And then, I mean, I had little things throughout my life that like bothered me, but I was like, well, the whole is like so great, so there's no problem. And then you guys both left and shared like the CES letter and stuff, and I was like, oh, what's that? Like, I can handle it, because I thought like nothing could touch me. And then I read that and I seriously was in like a downward spiral for like a whole week, because I was just like distraught. I was like, wait, what? Like, it all made sense. So I like called my dad and he like tried to like talk me down out of it, and I was like, he's smart, like he knows what he's talking about. I wrote that article and I was like, I can stay with this. And probably like a couple months later, after I learned about the second anointing, that's when I was like, I'm done. Like, I just couldn't do it anymore.
Did you listen to the Tom Phillips podcast? Is that how you learned about it?
Yeah, yep. So I was just like, I'm done. I just felt like, I mean, in short, I just couldn't think for myself. Like, it never allowed me the power to be like, what do I want? Like, what do I think about this situation? So I had no control over my life. And so I was like, you know what? It's not true. I mean, that's the truest part, is like, it wasn't true, so I left. If it would have been true, I would have stayed, because who wouldn't want all those things that are promised? But it wasn't, I mean,
I always thought the 1,000 years of family history sounded so boring. And I was like, hopefully God's gonna like give me like the ability to enjoy that, because I do not understand how I'm gonna be into it.
Yeah.
Live in the temple all day, all night.
Ooh. But I mean, yeah, so in short, it wasn't true. There was just a lot of issues, troubling history, obviously, all the basic stuff, but I just couldn't be who I wanted to be. And like, now that I know that like there might not be anything else, I was like, I can't waste any more time. Like, life's too short to be anywhere you don't want to be. So I was done.
Amen.
Yeah.
And what's the name of your clothing company?
Be Here Now Clothing.
That's a great name.
Thank you.
There's like the Me Too movement on Facebook and social media. Then in Mormonism, there's the Joseph Bishop MTC thing. Lots of talk about sexual abuse. How do you think the church's role, like position on modesty, plays into these issues that we're seeing with sexual abuse and that sort of issue?
I feel like it just continues to like put the blame on women. I mean, I know men are also sexually abused in the church, but it's just like, it just continues to victim blame people, I feel like, because it's always like, well, like, still, what were you wearing? Like, and I feel like, too, it just makes a lot of, I don't know, the priesthood holders in the church feel like they have the control, because they're not responsible for, like, the women's thoughts. Like, it's the women that are responsible for the men's thoughts. So it's like, I don't know, like the people who reported you at school, it's like, are you supposed to be the keeper of everybody's thoughts? Yeah, so I don't know, I feel like it just continues to like shift blame, and like when women are sexually assaulted, I feel like you're not obviously very valued in the church, so you're gonna feel like, well, like maybe I deserved it, or like, what's that quote? Who was it? There was like an apostle that said something in a talk recently.
It was like, thinking of the Richard G. Scott thing, where it's like, sometimes the Lord may prompt you to accept a degree of responsibility. Yeah. Holy shit.
So it's like, how could people not think it's their fault? Yeah. And I mean, like,
because if you even suggest that to a woman that's grown up with a guilt complex, it's like they're immediately going to be like, well, I was like wearing this, or I was like in his room. And it's like I hate how the honor code will put like being in his room, even if you want to think it's like like when I was in school, I would have thought being in a boy's room was a transgression. I wouldn't have been like, it's a sin, because I knew it wasn't like inherently wrong to be in a boy's room. But I would have thought like, that's a transgression. And to put like a transgression, like to give it equal weighting as like rape, like, you know what I mean? Like, the most heinous of crimes as well as like sins, is just like absolutely insane. It really is. And it just continues to really upset me. Like, I feel like if I had left the church, like, up until now, with all the things that are going on, like, this would have put me out. I've wondered that. 100%. Like, this, and I have a lot of friends right now that are considering leaving because they're so upset about this. Like, friends that I never would have guessed would have left, like, ever. So, I mean, it's not like you want this to happen because it's terrible, but it's like, I mean, it's finally exposing them for what they are. Like, they don't care. They just don't. I mean, maybe there's individuals that care, but like, I don't ever feel like that was my experience. The institution as a whole seems pretty apathetic. Like they have their minds made up, so it's like the church or caring for people. When you said that
before leaving the church when you wanted to wear less modest outfits, did you feel a lot of shame about that? Did you feel like, oh, I'm like secretly like a bad person?
Yeah. I mean, I think I less felt like that until I got to BYU Idaho, because like I lived in the Portland area where it's kind of like
nice.
More people are normal and it's not super weird. But once I got to BYU Idaho,
you're calling Portland normal? Isn't the whole thing keep Portland
think that
weird?
is true. Yeah, weird is like normal to me now.
Sure.
It's like backwards. I don't know.
I feel like you were like definitely way okay. So like comparing you and Tanner, because you both grew up in the church and I didn't, like you were way less weird than Tanner. Probably because you just like grew up in that environment.
Yeah, no, I was really lucky. Like my parents were pretty lenient and all that, but I just I didn't feel that guilty until I got to BYU Idaho, and then I dated a guy that like we went on some dates, and then he was like, hey, I'm just afraid to like keep going with this because like what if my mom sees the pictures of you and like what you wear on your Facebook? I'm not even kidding, like once again, like maybe a bikini and maybe like a tank top.
And you're like, what if she does?
Yeah, like what? But anyway, so like I really liked this guy, so I felt horrible, and I like cried for like a couple days because I was like, I'm not doing well enough. So that's when I was like doubled down, like I gotta be better. I threw out all my stuff, like I was just like, I'm gonna be a good person. And then I started to feel shame, so yeah. So at that point I was like, I've just not been doing good enough, like, so I felt pretty horrible for a couple of years. Like I feel like I had to like make up the difference or whatever.
I'm ashamed to say that in college, I remember having a conversation with a couple of my friends, and we were talking about how like we'd never date a girl who wore bikinis.
I know a lot of guys like that.
I was like so Mormon, and I would have worn a bikini. Like, I probably wouldn't have worn one to like a byu-i event, but like I went on a cruise with my bishop in England and his wife and his daughter, who's like my best friend at the time, and we all wore bikinis. Like me, the bishop's daughter, the bishop's wife, and then again the bishop, Speedo. Just because, like, I guess in England, like we don't have the same like cultural intensity that you guys do, and it's like we just want to get even terms. Like,
yeah, you would think that would be cool, but
yeah, like I went in my stake president's hot tub in a bikini, but like it was so weird to me. Like I remember I came to BYU Idaho and like it was so hot, which was like so weird for me as an English person because I got there in July, and we all went like bridge jumping, and I was like, it was like such an exciting thing for me as an English person because we don't get to do stuff like that, and I think I like only brought a bikini with me to BYU Idaho.
Oh no.
And then I remember like maybe I like said something about it to like the guy I was dating or like to someone, and they were like, oh no, you can't wear a bikini. So I wore like the only tank top I had was like a white one. So I just like wore a white one,
which is like really not that much.
Yeah, so like obviously it went see-through, but like
but no top, so it was like full exposure.
No.
It was this shirt.
Now we're talking.
Anyway, so I ended up wearing like these little red shorts and like a white tank top, and like people like judged me hard for it.
What?
And it's like, I'm from England, I'm a freaking convert, like this is all new to me. I didn't know that you guys were like this. And then like to experience that judgment, like your first week in a new country, like I didn't feel it that intensely because I wasn't like necessarily insecure, if that makes sense, but looking back, it was weird, like the few comments people made. Like I think my friend Michael, who like actually is like a really cool guy, and he's Mormon, but he's like not judgy, but he made like a little joke about like my modest swimsuit.
That's how they always are though.
It's like, he really, I know that sounds terrible, and like he was pre-mission and definitely intense, but like I think he is like one of the best Mormons. So
that's like, oh man, I hope this girl doesn't watch this, but one of my best friends, she, when we had our senior like trip in high school, it was like a party like with our grade, and I was gonna wear a bikini for like the first time at the party, and she found out and she told me, she was like, if you bring one and wear it, I will not hang out with you that night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I mean, that was a thing. Yeah.
Well, that's fun.
Isn't that the definition of Pharisaism? Like, where the measure of a person's worth and spirituality is on these arbitrary external things, rather than the inner content of their character.
It's so silly.
Do you remember when I was like closer to leaving the church, I was like blogging for LDS Living at the time, and you helped, like I wrote this post with your help about how the Book of Mormon doesn't like say anything about modesty, and they like totally published it, and everyone like ate it up. But then it's like they'll post something else.
They don't give a shit.
Yeah, they have such contradictory. Like, I feel like that was one of the best messages they've ever had. Because like even the Mormons were like, this is, because it wasn't like promoting immodesty,
right?
But it was just like,
I feel like I remember that article actually.
Yeah. Anyway,
it's a shame. It's a real shame.
Chandler, what would you say to the people out there? You know, if you could say anything to them.
If you could just say a thing.
Yeah, if you want, 1,000 people to hear something you gotta say, what would you say?
3,000.
Don't be afraid to ask yourself what you want. Because like even if you're LDS or you're not LDS, like that question will only bring you like to better places and happiness. I wish I would have done it a lot sooner. So.
Amen.
Chills.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Let's all dance with the animals now.
Okay, I'm going to give a little spiel while you do that. If you want to see our videos in your
Damn.
subscription box, please click the notification bell because YouTube has a new algorithm and it hates us, it hates everyone. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up because we need the engagement. Also, please leave a comment, tell us your thoughts about modesty, your most cringy modesty story is what you should share in the comments. We would love to read some of those.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, something good. I think that's it. If you want to donate to help us keep doing what we're doing, I'll leave my Venmo. We're getting a better system going soon, don't worry.
If you want to see a video of exclusive dance moves,
let us know in the comments. Although we have got a pretty sexy one coming up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Love you.